Hello, my name is Jay.
And I'm Scott.
We're doing a playthrough of Resident Evil 4. I've never played any Resident Evil before in my life.
Yes, I can't believe that. Resident Evil 4 is probably one of the best games of the sort of PlayStation 2 era, so the fact that you've never played it before just blows my mind.
1998. Never forget it. It was the year when those grisly murders occurred in the Arklay Mountains.
I remember those.
The news was out to the whole world, revealing that it was the fault of a secret viral experiment conducted by the International Pharmaceutical Enterprise, Umbrella. The virus broke out in a nearby mountain community in Raccoon City. The peaceful little town, with a devastating war crippling its very foundation. Not taking any chances, the President of the United States ordered a contingency plan to sterilize Raccoon City. The whole affair gone public. The United States government issued an indefinite suspension of business decree to Umbrella. So its stock prices crashed. For all intents and purposes, Umbrella was finished.
But none of that matters to this game.
No. So that backstory from the previous games?
Yeah, that's pretty much the story of Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
Since that horrendous incident.
6 years later.
Received special training and a secret organization. President, I was to assume the responsibility of protecting the new president's family. Guess that's a local's way of breaking the ice. Anyway, what this is all about, my assignment is to search for the president's missing daughter. I'm sure the boys didn't just tag along so we could see what I got together in some Boy Scout bonfire. Then again, maybe you did. I'm counting on you guys.
They're just dicks to each other, and then I'm counting on you like they're best friends, man.
Well, those two will be dead within the next 5 minutes.
Good.
It was right before I was to take on my duties of protecting the president's daughter. when I was
Just-
abducted. That's the ultimate reason I'm in this lonely, rural part of Europe. According to our intelligence, there's reliable information about a sighting of a girl that looks very similar to the president's daughter. Apparently, she's being held by some unidentified group. Who would have thought that my first job would have been a rescue mission?
They put a lot of effort into animating his hair. Not his hair. I have a problem peeing. Takes me 20 minutes. Very painful.
And just long intro cutscenes like this just really serve no purpose because, like, developing the characters when they're just going to die so quickly. Off screen as well, from what I remember.
Off screen. He just rocks up later and he's dead. Oh, I guess I'll find out, but. Huh. City boys.
Jeez, who are these guys? Did you see something?
Leon, I hope you can hear me. I'm Ingrid Hunnigan.
Snake?
Snake? Snake!
So the subject's name's Ashley Graham.
That's right. She's the daughter of the president. The
worry, the codec combos are mercifully brief compared to MGS.
Oh, Jesus.
Tank controls?
Tank controls, man. The no can I strafe at all? Can I just run?
No, there is no strafing at all, at least in the console versions. I've played the PS2 version twice and the Wii version once. I'm not 100% sure what the changes to the controls are in the PC version.
Okay.
I will just quickly tell you probably the most important thing for you to know. The sprint you had set to shift,
yeah.
right? Yep, okay. If you press back and shift, you do a quick turn. That is the lifesaver of this game. If you do not know about that, you have no chance.
Okay. Because doing this is very slow. Okay, alright. Right click. Okay, I've got a little dot thing. Cool. Jesus, doesn't like center. You've got to then. That is gonna be annoying. I'm gonna miss so many bullets.
Come on, just go inside. No one's going to kill you just yet.
Cutscenes.
Excuse me, sir. I was wondering if you might recognize a girl in this photograph.
¿Qué carajo estás haciendo aquí? Lárgate, cabrón.
Sorry.
Freeze.
I do not fear death.
You see, this person, actually not a zombie. You just barged into his house and killed him.
I'm a good guy. Really? That's them dying?
They go pretty quickly.
Is everything okay?
There was a hospital local. I had no choice but to neutralize it. There's still others surrounding the area.
Get out of there and head toward the village. Take whatever measures necessary to save the subject.
Understood.
You're American, do what you want.
Just invade Spain and kill everyone there,
He's not
apparently.
a zombie. But he did take more than one bullet to the head? Okay.
So, despite Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3, this game doesn't feature any zombies. Apparently they are the infected with something a little bit out of the ordinary, as you'll find out in a little while.
What's that? Yes?
Now, this isn't a survival
zombies.
horror game in that you're going to be completely strapped for ammo all the time.
What was the
But-
turnaround button?
Backwards and
yeah.
run. Yeah, this isn't a survival horror in that you'll be completely strapped for ammo all the time, but you will always, I guess, feel the tension of not having all of the bullets that you want.
Oh.
Now, this is sort of how the gameplay of Resident Evil 4 works, in that it's all about trying to find the best place to position yourself before you line up the shots. Thankfully, there are only 3 people here, but when you get to sort of a big mob of enemies, you can just imagine having to sort of...
Run in circles?
Well, is running in circles necessarily the best idea when you can't run and shoot at the same time? You've really got to cement yourself down to a place where you think that you can sort of, I guess, take out some people without being cornered or attacked from the back.
Okay.
So it sort of creates a bit of a more interesting dynamic where you're constantly trying to figure out the best place to be while also scavenging for extra ammo, and there are a couple of other tricks to the combat as well. Yes, so in this room you'll actually see that there are a couple of crates. You have a combat knife that you can use to break them. I'm just going to hazard a guess on what the controls might be for the PC version, but what happens if you press right click? Is that aim? Yeah, okay. If you, instead of aiming, just try left click instead. What happens? Nothing?
Nothing.
Okay, can you go into the menu just to quickly find the controls for that, because it is an important one? Oh, quick turn is also just matched
Q,
to
yeah, I just
Q
found
as
that
well.
spacebar. Alright, cool.
Yeah, so you need to hold it and then just attack it. Now that can also be used on enemies when there are a couple of them around. It's not really an effective way to deal with people, but it can just sort of momentarily stun them for a bit so that you can run past them and get a better shot lined up elsewhere. Green herbs are your health items. You can sort of mix and match them. There are, I believe, red, green and yellow. If you have a red and a green, that will sort of max out your health. But if you add a yellow into the mix, it will actually upgrade the total amount of health that you have.
Okay, I'm just checking. Alright, so reload is R, but you can't reload?
That's a strange one. What does it say the inventory button is? That's status actually, so it might be tab. Okay, if I'm remembering correctly with the reloading, you actually need to be aiming the weapon, first of all. If I recall correctly, that's how it works.
Yeah, there you go. Alright, cool.
You can also try pressing tab. That will open up your inventory, which you can increase the size of as you progress through the game. You can sort of combine some things in here as well.
I have to navigate this menu with WASD.
Oh, there's no mouse.
There's no mouse?
Oh, that strange quirk. Right,
Something
I
that didn't port over very well.
Yes, actually, they've flown away now, but if you see a bird like that, you can actually shoot it and they drop money, I believe. Also, don't worry, these aren't the dogs from Penumbra, they aren't going to hurt you, but helping him along is probably the best idea.
Popping him?
Don't kill him.
How did he jump that fence? What sort of freakish dog is this?
He is a very cool dog. He will be your best friend.
Does it fight monsters?
He does some pretty interesting things. Or probably does only one interesting thing.
Is it jump a fence like 5 times as tall as his? Because that's pretty impressive. Okay.
Okay, you can probably see what's coming up here.
I'm just going to avoid them. Can I deactivate them?
I think that you can shoot them, but don't try that in close proximity.
Hey, friend.
Now, you can actually see that sometimes the enemies will stagger like that when you shoot them in the face, or even when you have knifed them in the face as well. This can also be when you shoot them in the kneecaps and some other areas of their body. When that happens, you can actually run up and do a melee attack. The melee attack's probably the really sort of defining aspect of what makes the combat in this so great, because you're not only managing sort of trying to get away from them because you can't move while shooting, but you want to be sort of close to them because you can then do these really sort of powerful melee attacks when they are staggered, which can just knock down like 5 or 6 guys at once if they're close enough. And it can also help save some ammo as well, which if you're not careful you can run out of ammo pretty easily in this. And this is actually, I guess, a bit of a downside to the PC version. The resolution is probably a little too good with that. What typically happens is that you don't notice them run into the shack, and then they just start coming up behind you and you're sort of a bit panicked. So I've never actually seen a person take these 2 guys out like that. Overall though, this
Do you
is...
lose bullets when you reload like that? Like, is it...
it reloads in the sort of typical shoot away
typical
where
FPS way. Alright, cool.
you're not going to lose out on anything major.
So they normally see you in there and... Right, so...
Yeah, so the music starts to get a bit tense when you're just trying to loot this place and you're thinking, what, are there some guys in here as well? And then they all just swarm the entrance. But overall though, this is still just in the sort of tutorial area, so they're only ever making you fight like 2 or 3 guys at a time. That should change in... Oh. That doesn't look too pleasant.
That's...
Moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so shortly you'll be facing a sort of larger swarm of people, and that's sort of where the game really starts to show its mechanics. Also, I should just say, as a warning, there actually do get to be a couple of QuickTime events in this game. Unfortunately, it was sort of built around that era. They aren't too intrusive when they pop up, but at the same time, just sort of be wary that you're going to be in a cutscene and it will just randomly say to, I don't know, press the A button.
Okay, I'll be ready. So I saw them up on the hill. Oh.
Yeah, I think that they were just sort of more background NPC sort of guys who, the sort of idea is that they're going to, run off and alert the village, whatever, rather than actually being threats to you in the moment.
Man, I can see him. I can't do anything about it.
Actually, just try shoot him and see if you can run up and attack him while he's staggered. You have to stagger these guys first. They can be pretty brutal. Yep.
Oh, okay, all that. Wow, man.
That was one powerful knife.
I wonder if I can break these boxes, man. Just knocked his shoes off with a knife. I'll keep that in mind. It's about as powerful as a bullet, but melee range. So I'm hurt. Is that why?
Yeah. So I'll just explain the health down in the.
So I've got
bottom
2 out of 5 missing. So I've got 3/5 of my health.
Yeah. So just how that works is that you sort of have all of these segments. Not all attacks are going to take one whole segment or.
Oh, okay. So it's not like Mario where you get like 3 coins worth of health and that's it. It doesn't matter what hits you.
Yeah, it's going to be dependent on that. So some attacks will hurt for more than one segment, some will hurt for less. At the moment, you can, I guess, heal. I'm not quite sure. I think that a herb can heal about 1.5 segments just on its own. But if you
Or 2.
Okay. If you combine the herbs, though, they do give stronger effects. But you don't want to be combining everything straight away, just in case you need to recover that 1 or 2 segments without wasting a full health spray. But yeah, as you progress through the game and find some yellow herbs, if you mix the yellow with the green, you'll be able to increase the number of segments of health that you have.
Okay.
So just sort of always scout out for things.
Leon, how you holding up?
Bad question.
Sorry to hear that. I'm sending you a playing manual. Hope you find it useful.
I'll take a look at it. Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Breaking the third wall a little bit.
the third wall.
The fourth wall?
Yeah, it's the fourth wall.
Fourth wall. Breaking some walls. Okay, yeah, cool. Kicks.
Yeah, kicks are those melee attacks. They
Stun.
are context sensitive though, so
E.
you can't just run up and do them. You have to wait until something is staggered, and then
Will it come up with a...
Yeah, the prompt will come up on the bottom of the screen that will say press E to do a kick or a suplex or some sort of crazy move. They can be pretty impressive at times.
Okay, cool. Well, there's some handy tips.
Mm-hmm.
Still didn't emphasize the quick switch thing. Oh, not being able to strafe is...
Well, they weren't nice people anyway.
I doubt they taste very good.
Something tells me that these villagers aren't too picky. They do look pretty peaceful though, you know, apart from the burning body.
They keep making noises, just like random, like... Do I have to kill the entire village?
This is an action game, and you are playing as the American. What do you think?
Yeah, I have to kill everyone. I'm just gonna open fire.
Okay, this is where things get to start. Welcome to Resident Evil 4. So just always be sure to check your sides, make sure that nobody's sneaking up behind you. Try to find safe places. You can go into all of these buildings. There will be lots of different things to sort of check up on. Once you, I guess, die the first time in this, I'll give you a bit of advice on where some of the neater things are. As you saw, a person just threw an axe at you as well, so there are some ranged attacks as well. Actually, was that what I thought it was back there, or...? Yes, it was. This is Dr. Salvador, and he has a chainsaw.
He does.
Yeah, so don't run up that way, because I think that if you run up to the...
Yeah, there's more guys there.
There is an exit there, which the game I don't think will actually let you through there anyway, but I think that triggers Dr. Salvador a bit early.
Yeah, there was too many guys. Okay.
There are a couple of neat little things inside the buildings as well. There's actually a shotgun that you can pick up in... I'll tell you the building when it comes into view. It's sort of one of the back ones, I think. Yeah, if it would be a bit more appropriate, you can, I guess, kill off a person to the side and you can sort of have a better idea of where people are going to be, but this isn't a stealth section where you're going to be able to avoid a massive confrontation. I'll say that much. Actually, there was a herb just behind you as well, so there can be...
I can hear footsteps, like, really close. Man.
If you just want to do a quick turn, you'll actually see that there's a green herb that you can pick up before, just round to your right, there we go.
I can do the mid-combat kind of to heal.
Yeah, so if you just pressing, I believe it was tab, goes into that inventory, that lets you change weapons, equip grenades, heal yourself. A couple of different things. All of it's in, I guess, what would the opposite of real time be? Paused time?
Oh.
Yes, I'd watch out behind you. They can They're pretty slow, but they will sneak up on you. Yes, it is actually this house just around to your left that has this shotgun in it. That can be a bit of a helpful one. You can actually barricade up some of these things as well, as it will show you in this cutscene. I think that it barricades the door for you automatically, but you can do the same with that bookshelf that you saw just there. You can knock that ladder down as well, I believe, or you can just use it to, I guess, quickly jump up and down from the outside. There was that bookshelf down on the lower floor if you want to get it, or there is the shotgun, which is probably the best thing that you can get at the moment. There are grenades as well. They can be useful when there are a lot of enemies all bunched up, which the enemies are always bunched up in this. Now, you only have 6 shots, so that may not necessarily be...
It's alright, I can swap back at instant time like this?
Yes, so this has paused the game for you, and yeah, but if you end up using it on, I guess, guys that don't have the chainsaw, you might feel a bit overwhelmed when Dr. Salvador comes back.
I'm getting it.
And also just keep in mind to watch those stairs as well, because guys can easily come up behind you. Now, I think that this... I'm trying to remember if you can melee attack Dr. Salvador. You'll need to go into the aiming mode before doing anything too drastic.
No!
You'll often find that the best tactic will just be to run away and hope for the best.
More okay?
More guys spawn. Yeah, but when it was just giving you 2 or 3 guys, that's I wonder if the Steam interface is going to show up in that recording.
Alright, so I think I killed Salvador. I think that's why they came in.
I do not think that. That was only a single grenade. He is pretty beefy. He does have was it like a potato bag over his head or something? So I would not be surprised if he... yep, there's the revving of his chainsaw. I think that you can melee attack him, but I don't want you to hold me to those words.
Oh, this is a dead end, isn't it? No, I can turn my shit.
You can quickly turn around to the right, yes?
Right.
So...
What are you making me play?
Yeah, but this is a bit more of the pace of the game. You can climb up that ladder and then kick it down to sort of slow people down from getting up to you. So just remember, guys can come up from behind, as they probably are.
Yeah, I can hear him.
So this is a bit more of the pace of what the game sort of gets to in its...
I was trying to quick. I was trying to do the quick.
Nope, when he gets you,
Man,
he's got you and you are dead.
That's horrible.
Yeah, so,
Jeez. Do I want to kill maybe a few guys before I go into that house?
maybe a few. I will, I guess, I give you a little tip that you actually don't need to kill everyone. I think that if you survive for, I think 5 or 6 minutes, a bell rings and they all go inside the clock tower. For some reason that you don't know quite yet.
Okay.
So that can, I guess, be a lifesaver, but this is more of a trying to make sure that you don't die run more than a killing everyone in the face type of run. Now, I believe that the back house to your right actually does have not anything too useful, but it is a lot easier to barricade yourself back up in that room. There are a couple of drawers that you can push across to block the door, and I don't think that there are any windows, so there's only one entryway. Of course, that means that there's only one exit as well.
Oh.
Yeah, so there are just always going to be guys swarming you in the sort of action segments of this game.
So I think I'm gonna go into that building again and see how I go again. Hey friends,
Yeah, that will
trigger
Dr.
Mr.
Salvador. Yeah,
I want that. I want the shotgun.
the
there.
shotgun. Yeah. So remember, you can also block that window by pushing at the bookshelf in front of it. You just run up to the side of it, and I think press and hold E. It will show the prompt at any
That
rate.
gives me much more time.
And if you run up to the top floor as well, once you've sort of barricaded the bottom, you'll be able to get around to the side of it. Yeah, you'll be able to kick down the ladder as well, so that can slow people down as well. They will be able to put it back up, but you will buy yourself some precious few seconds. You might even want to do that before grabbing the shotgun. And of course, there are guys trying to get into the window as well. You can jump down from the window as well, just to sort of save some time and give you a quick exit. Now, I'll give you a bit of a tip that I've always found helpful. If you actually jump out of that window and get onto the balcony, there is an area around to the right-hand side that sort of acts as a bottleneck. Whoa, weird camera there. So I don't believe that they can actually come around to here.
Salvador.
If you can sort of get in with the shotgun blasts or a grenade, you might be able to kill him. If there's a melee attack as well, once he's sort of down on the ground, that can also help. Sorry to sort of overwhelm you with all of this information. He needs to be sort of crouching, I guess, a bit more. But this I found is typically the safest place because they can only attack you from that one angle. You can also shoot those pickaxes out of the air. That is probably one of the more helpful techniques. Also remember that you have your grenade. Or did you pick up the grenade? No, you didn't.
Shit. I think I'm dead.
You might be able to run off, try running, jump down. Yeah, so that's my typical safe point for where I want to go in this level. But
I didn't feel very safe.
well, you're safer than when they can all come up without, being around your corners or behind you or anything. So you saw when the good doctor was sort of staggering around like that,
Yeah.
you'd probably be able to do a roundhouse kick on him.
Yeah, I didn't see the thing for. You said there was another place I could barricade myself in.
That's sort of the main one, but if you go around to the right here, you might need to jump off. Oh yes, good idea. They will need to set that back up before they can do anything, and of course, a couple of weird physics here. Yep, you can grab up and run up and claim your prize from him. I'm not quite sure if the things will disappear when the cutscene ends. Once you've sort of taken out all of these dudes.
Oh my. Oh.
Yep.
Alright, where's this other building?
Okay, if you run around to.
Oh.
There we go. You survived the first challenge of the game.
You're gonna have nightmares about this, man.
Don't worry, they do sort of make this level a bit harder than sort of what you're going to have for the next maybe hour or so, just to sort of really punch you in the teeth, make you feel a bit intimidated. Once you kick up your arsenal a bit more, you'll have a bit more of a chance to take on a larger army like that. Heart pumping?
What part of Europe am I in? Because they're fucking crazy. does she know that? So, was there anything else in any of this? Are they just all in there now? So I can just search.
You can explore to your heart's content. I'd recommend just going backwards. See if his body still has that dropped thing. I believe it should be around this way to your right. Okay, so that's dropped a good bit of gold here. That can definitely be your friend.
Can I open doors? Yeah.
Yes. There are a lot of nooks and crannies that you can sort of find neat little bits of ammo, grenades. You'll find on your left there was actually a picture of the cult leader, I guess you could say, that's sort of running the joint here. You couldn't knock down that kettle, but there is a barrel just around behind you, made out of a similar material to those crates that you can also knock out with your knife. Often holds some goodies. Not everything does necessarily contain something good, and indeed some crates can even have snakes in them. Just to, I guess, sort of warn you there. Just to always...
Sneckers.
Yeah.
It's going to take me so long to get used to not being able to strafe.
And the controls, I guess, are a little dated maybe, but I personally prefer the way that Resident Evil 4 feels than Resident Evil 6, which does sort of have those expanded movement options with strafing and the like. That's probably just nostalgia for this game, which really is my favourite action game that I can think of.
Is that a cult leader?
Yes.
He looks like a Sith, man. Okay.
He's an American, just so you know.
Yeah. This place, bell tower. I see, so I could have come up this ladder.
Yes, but I don't think that you can actually kick down this one, so...
No, yeah, that'd be...
Yes, so you wanted to know which part of Europe this takes place in?
Yeah.
I believe that it's Spain. All of the people here speak Spanish, and you actually got... that this game got very little controversy when it came out and showed an American coming in and killing all the Spanish people. Resident Evil 5, with its setting of Africa, where the big, tough American man comes in to kill all of the Africans. Quite a fair bit of controversy there, as you can imagine.
Yeah, I can... Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yes, so... if you combine... I think that you can combine up to 3 herbs. You can't actually just take a yellow herb or a red herb on its own. They need to be mixed with a green herb if...
Do I want to open this?
I'm not sure if you're able to, but I wouldn't recommend it.
It's locked on one.
That's good, because otherwise 20 people would have all been in there.
I got a grenade. They're friends.
Yes, so I believe that just around to your left here, you can go into...
I didn't go in there? No, jeez, I didn't.
Yeah, up that door.
Walking around in circles.
Yeah, so this is that room that I was sort of telling you about before. If you go into the back room, I believe that the only way that they can attack you is from the front. Sort of keeps you, I guess, a little bit
So
safe.
you can barricade that.
I believe that you can... you can also knife and shoot those locks as well. This isn't Zelda, so you're not going to go key hunting too much.
Too much.
No, there are a couple of puzzles here and there, but overall, this game knows what it is, and that is a very fun shooter.
It's a pretty heavy door.
I believe that if you double tap the button, you'll actually kick it open.
Yeah, you do.
And of course that can be used to hit people who are on the other side of the door, set them into a stun animation, and then actually there's a cabin on the left there which has some crates. Yeah, so if you kick a door open and it stuns a person, you can then go up and do a melee attack. The melee attacks will sort of hit everyone around. They're sort of like a, I guess, area of effect type of thing. So as strange as that sounds for a melee attack. And yeah, so that can be a lot of fun once you start really sort of mastering this and learning how to get in those powerful melee attacks.
Huh.
Yeah, so there are a couple of these little sorts of, I guess, lore building memo type of things that are left around. They aren't too important. I don't think that they get you any unlockables or anything for reading them, but they can, I guess, flesh out some things. But this game really does not have a complicated plot at all.
Would it be too much to ask to think that there's no one around? Yeah.
Yeah, there are going to be people around, not quite as many as the village. You'll see these little blue medallion things. Don't shoot them just yet, but I'll tell you about them once you've sort of, I guess, cleared out this area.
I saw a guy on the left. I think I'm just going to start shooting this dude. Hey, friend.
Yes, also your friends are the chickens. I believe that if you shoot the chickens, you can get eggs from them. Eggs that you can either eat for a small bit of health, or use as a projectile if memory serving correctly.
Okay. So shoot the chickens. They're gone.
Oh, if you want to be a monster, you can shoot the chickens, but it does give some benefits at any rate.
Just shrug it off, man.
Yep.
Just shrug it off.
Just a single guy on his own, typically not all that intimidating. But yeah, when these guys, as you saw, are all swarmed up, they can be quite the doozy. I think that you actually need to be out of the aiming mode in order to have the melee attack prompts come up.
That would explain why I haven't seen them.
So these typewriters let you save as well.
Yeah, I quite like that actually. If I just check it, no, it just says that.
Yeah, you need to properly bust things open.
So what were these?
Okay, so there are... you might be able to examine that blue sign and it will tell you, but some person who we haven't seen just yet, he is friendly, I guess you can say, but he's helpful even if he's not exactly well, you don't really know his intentions at any rate. But yeah, there are 15 blue medallions. If you destroy them, you get a reward. If you destroy 10 of them, you get the reward, but if you destroy all 15, you get, I believe, a bit more of a bonus.
Okay.
Now, behind you, you may have seen a little shiny thing back at that well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is a puzzle that it's not exactly all that difficult, but everyone just seems to not think it through. Yep, there we go. Oh, bother. Once you open it, you can't close it.
Oh.
Yep, so now the only way to get the... You can get the pendant, but you'll get the dirty pendant instead. Sorry, you sort of did that action a little too quickly for me
I
to
didn't even
stop
think
you.
about it. I just try to. That's stupid.
Yeah, so everyone...
Do I need the pendant?
No, there are a lot of things that you can sort of, like, collect.
If I go back and come in, does it reset everything?
I'm not 100% sure.
Hmm.
If you wanted, you could reboot the save, but once again, all that it is a collectible that you can... Oh, look, there's a chicken egg. A collectible that you will sell for a bit of cash. So I'd recommend getting it anyway, even if it's going to be the dirty pendant instead of the nice and clean one. But yeah,
I have to jump into this thing there.
no, you just shoot it. Can't believe that you actually reached in there and grabbed that thing. Man, you're disgusting.
I am.
Yeah, so the definite way to get around in here is to use that sprint button as well, especially when you've sort of beat a few guys in the area. That way you can sort of be sure that no one's going to sneak up behind you or anything.
Sound of flies. Hey.
Oh, it's that dog. Who apparently...
Isn't very bright.
No. I forgot that he shows up here. I think that you can kill the cows as well, but it doesn't get you anything. Except for the fact that it will brand you as a monster forever. Oh, apparently one guy is still up there. Also, I apologise if that squeaking of the chair comes up on the microphone.
It's okay. Man.
Yes, as you can see, these guys aren't exactly... Was there someone else on the ground floor?
Yep.
Yeah, these guys are a little bit... difficult when it comes to, you know, dying in a single shot to the face. Yeah, so typically what I do with a person is that when it's just one on their own, after a single shot to the face, I just run up and kick them.
Okay.
Yeah. Now you're sort of at low health at the moment, so just go into the menu and see if you can combine that yellow herb with a green herb. Yellow herbs, of course, will increase the amount of health that you have. So-
Should I just use a green herb to heal? Because that'll almost...
I'd recommend the green and yellow restores about as much health as a green herb, but it also gives you the permanent health boost, so that's probably your best option at the moment.
Ah.
Now, as you can see, it doesn't really give you a whole lot of extra health,
Yeah, no, that's reasonable.
but that does, you know, stack up over time.
Cool. Permanent health boost. Probably was going to tell me about that at some point. With another one of those shorts.
Actually, it probably wasn't. I think that it just sort of leaves a couple of things up to you. But if you were to examine it in the menu screen, it probably would have said what its utility is. Or it just hopes that you have played the previous games, I guess. I believe that there was another blue medallion thing that you could see from up here, around to your left. Now keep in mind that you don't need to get all of them, and there are more in a different area that actually, yeah, there was one just around to your right as well. Or go that way. So yeah, just round to the left. Now there are lots of collectibles that you can find if you sort of search around. I can't remember the locations of all of them, but I guess not going to sort of like encourage the sort of looking around at every single nook and cranny. That would probably take too much time, especially in the areas where I can't remember where everything is anyway. Did you see what I just saw? Sneaky little things.
With a little help from another person, I could get over.
Yes, actually, I'll just ask, do you know what that means yet? Or are you really going completely blind into this?
I'm going completely blind in it. I haven't played a single one of these games before.
Okay, well, we'll get to that a bit later then. But yeah, let's just say that this game, despite being one of the best of all time, about 70 to 80% of it is an escort mission.
Oh man.
It's actually a pretty good escort mission. Also, I think that this is where a QuickTime event will pop up in this room. Maybe? Or maybe the next one, actually. I could be getting a bit ahead of myself. Nope, it's this one. So watch out for whatever the prompt is.
Run, you bastard!
Oh, I tried
That's alright.
to take control of the wheel for you. Forgot about that.
I'll have to get back to the previous save, don't I?
I think that it just drops you off at the beginning of the room.
Cool.
Thankfully.
Thankfully.
Yeah, that would be...
Yeah, I actually took my hand off the mouse to do the X.
Do you need to hit both of them? Or...
you need to, because it's got the left and right, you need to do like WASD as well.
Oh,
There we
okay.
go. That's what we missed.
As I said, I haven't played the PC version, so the prompts are a little bit foreign to me, I will admit. That said though, man, this laser-guided boulder just is really...
What? It was a oh man. Jesus, this is...
I knew that the prompts were randomized, but I wasn't going to tell you.
You're a horrible person. You should feel horrible.
No, you'll get it right this time, surely?
20 minutes later. Oh, at least the X is still sounding the same. Maybe you do have to do both. I think you do have to do both.
We can edit this part out, right?
No.
And yet you call me the monster.
Oh man.
Did you hit both of them like at the same time?
Yeah.
How about I take control of the mouse? You just sort of like take control of the X and...
This is the QuickTime events on PC version.
Yes, and also the other two buttons that it was prompting for, but... Yeah, I'll just see if I can... Yeah, right, okay, so it's just...
I didn't even hit a button then, so you
Yeah.
just have to click at the same time. Okay. Piece of cake. Easy, first try.
That was pretty pathetic. Okay, now you can sort of see those little jewels up in the top. You can try to shoot them down, and they can. I think that they're about $500. Well, I don't know the Spanish currency.
Pizzazz. It's 500 pizzazz.
Pizzazz? Oh.
It's not pizzazz.
Oh, it's not pizzazz?
That's alright. I think we're gonna have a break and in the creepy tunnel and pick up from here in a sec.